All right, ladies and DeGents, welcome back to week 18 for another episode of the Distinguished DeGents podcast. You're one of many homes of degenerate gambling. Back from Christmas and New Year's Eve vacation. I'm one half of the Distinguished DeGents. I'm Steve. Big bucks, a beta. 113, 120, and 2. So hopefully we get to 50% at the end of this week, last week for the year. Joining me is my co-host, my partner in gambling. It's the one and only Jason Money Mansman. We got a little bit of a Caser update. Although you did forget some picks, rough week 17 for you. You are now down by 6 in the Caser. What are your thoughts?
The fat lady is singing. The Titanic is sinking. That's what happens when you're. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with a sickness that reared its ugly head again week 17. So, I didn't make good picks. Maybe it was the Bills that made me sick. We'll get to them a little later. But, that's part of the game. It happens. I hate it because I had the lead going into the last couple of weeks, but I did not have a good week 17. I'm normally not good betting at the end of the year, and well, it reared its ugly head yet again. Not good picks last week.
No. And last week I went 10. I think I went 10 for 16, so took the lead there. Unfortunately, we got Detroit wrong. We both got Green Bay wrong against the Ravens. We both got Arizona wrong as a fucking dog. I don't know what I was thinking there. Pittsburgh against Cleveland. Should have known better. I knew that was a trap spot. And unfortunately, let's be real quick. Your Buffalo Bills. Look, here's my very quick thoughts. I'll let you rant. This was like the ultimate ugly non-conference rain game where just nobody could do anything right. It was really like the worst game of the week, which I did not anticipate. Considering there were only 2 games on the 4 o'clock window, I was somehow paying more attention to the Giants and Raiders because at least that had some scoring. So is this like a wash away game despite it being like so late in the season, or is this just the nail in the coffin for the end of your season?
Neither. I think it just shows what this team has always been, which is they're a one and done playoff team. They're a 6 seed, a 7 seed. The people who, and I started to jump on the bandwagon as well. And I started to think, could this Bills team surprise us? Could they really do it? But they continually show that this is a team that's just not good. The Patriots deserve to be AFC East champs. The Bills haven't really been that great all year. They've beaten bad teams. They've lost to good teams. They never seem to be able to beat the Eagles. And, I mean, to give you an idea, the defense, which has normally been terrible, 0 first downs for the Eagles in the second half. 0 first downs. And the Bills still found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And now, as a result of that, the last game ever at what used to be Ralph Wilson Field, now Highmark Stadium, is going to be an absolute shit fest between the Jets, who have quit, and the Bills, who have nothing to play for. They either get to go to Jacksonville for their season to end, or they get to go to New England, where their season will probably end. So they're a one and done team. It's not a nail in the coffin game. It just showed what this team is. And I declared this season over a long time ago. And this isn't a Super Bowl team. That's really all I got to say about them. And Josh Allen, he will be the Dan Marino of this generation. He's going to have all the numbers. He's going to have all the records. This guy's not going to win anything. I hate to say it. I love Josh Allen. Great guy. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. But he's just a guy who's never going to win anything. So, sad. Maybe he'll win a Super Bowl with like maybe he'll win a Super Bowl with like, I don't know, the Steelers one day. Or he'll get traded to the NFC. He'll go to the Vikings and win a Super Bowl. But not in Buffalo. Never going to win anything in Buffalo.
I don't think I've heard you so dejected in a long time like this. I mean, that game must have really come out of you.
Well,
Then again, watching my Broncos almost lose to a third string quarterback Thursday night, Christmas, just gave me
yeah,
gave me
that was ugly.
gave me more heart palpitations than it should have. And now we're playing. I guess it's a must win. I mean, win and you get the one. But we're playing Trey Lance and the Chargers, and then they make Bo Nix a big favorite again. And I'm like, why the fuck would they do this? Like now they're a big favorite. I don't know how this is going to go. I just saw this last week against the third stringer, and Trey Lance at least has experience. Like we fucking lost to Chris Mutombo Oladukin or whatever the hell his name is, in one half of football because Bo Nix throws one interception. And again, it's very similar to Buffalo. Our defense does everything right, shuts them out for a whole half. And we barely win. We play for field goals. That's the Sean Payton way. We love adversity. That's like the Broncos motto this year. We just love adversity so much. We can't have a game without it, honestly.
It's sad because we kind of need a Broncos-Bills playoff game because it might be one of the worst first halves in NFL history because it's literally two teams that just suck in the first half. And the Bills are actually the best second half team in football, and they're like the worst first half team. Yeah. So it could be one of the worst first halves in playoff history, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either. But there is a chance for Buffalo. And as we go through the games, Buffalo has a chance to. They have not secured a position. They are a wild card team, like they are in the playoffs, but they could be the 5, 6, or 7 seed this week, depending on how games go. So we really don't know.
6 looks the most likely.
Yeah.
6 looks the most likely, and their season will probably end in Jacksonville. So.
Yeah, I have the playoff simulator up, so like we can mess around with what could happen, what ifs. But week 18, we have not gone through 16 games since week 1. We got 2 Saturday games, 6 in the 1 o'clock window, another 7 or 8 in the fucking 4 o'clock window, and then just Sunday night football to end the season.
Yep.
No 4 games, all 4:30.
Yeah, I mean the good news is some of these games you could go over pretty quick just because they're kind of throwaway games, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Couple interesting matchups.
Couple interesting matchups. Saturday is going to be interesting, I think. Although, like, I just want to give a heads up. I do think whoever fucking scheduled week 18, whoever went to Chat GPT and gave them the prompt and just said submit, they need to be fired. Last year, in the Sunday Night Football head-to-head, we had the fight for the NFC number 1 spot. Why on earth would they have the same exact prompt, but move it to the Saturday window? I have no clue what the fuck they were thinking. Like, you are literally going to make most of the NFC games next week. No, like, they're going to be throwaways because the most exciting NFC matchup, you're going to get Saturday night, and then Sunday is just going to be shit NFC.
I have to say, you're 100% right. Saturday night should have been Steelers-Ravens.
Yeah.
Seahawks-Niners should be the Sunday night game. But I guess since both teams are in the playoffs and the Steelers-Ravens game is really the only game where I think, right? That's like the only playoff spot still up for grabs. I think the rest are, well, I guess Panthers-Bucks, theoretically.
Yeah, Panthers-Bucks is up for grab. However, regardless of which we're going to get into right now, whoever wins that game, it's not secured until the Saints-Falcons game is over.
Well, that's not true. If the Panthers win, they're in. Because they'd be 9-8, and the Bucks would be 7-10. So Panthers are winning, they're in. I think.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
Yeah, Panthers are winning in. Panthers winning in.
Bucks, on the other hand, would need the Saints to win in order to get the division. So yeah, we got a lot of fucking crazy Saturday games. Might as well start with it. Let's get it moving. Saturday, 4:30 at Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks, 7-9, hanging on to dear life. Minus 155 on the money line for the Bucks, minus 3 on the spread at plus 100. Panthers are catching 3 plus 130. 43 is the total. So we have a Saturday game, so short rest for both teams. Carolina, I think, is coming off of a loss to Seattle. Tampa coming off a loss to Quinn Ewers and the Miami Dolphins. Jesus Christ. Mansman, do you have any thoughts to kick this off, or do you want me to go ahead and start?
No, I'll start it off because this is my dog of the week, Carolina Panthers.
Whoa. Oh, we're starting strong already today.
Yeah, yes, sir. What have the Panthers done all year? They win a game, they look good,
lose a game,
then they lose horribly. What did they do last week?
They lost.
Horribly. Embarrassingly. Bryce Young, terrible again. So Carolina on the bounce back, been money all year. I've made tons of money playing the Panthers on the bounce back. You look at the Bucks. Bucks are a dead team walking. When you look at their last 4 performances, 0-4, lost to the Saints at home, Falcons at home, Panthers at home, Dolphins at home. Before that, other than beating the Cardinals by 3 points, the juggernaut that is the Arizona Cardinals, scorched by the Rams, scorched by the Bills, beaten by the Patriots. So this team in the last 8 games, 1-7.
Yeah.
Why is this team a favorite in this game? They have not been good for 2 months. This Bucks team's dead. Panthers on the bounce back. This honestly might be the easiest bet of the week. This Carolina all the way.
I think there's one other game that's easier. The only reason I think Tampa might be favored is just it's the historical trends. Tampa owns Carolina in this spot. They actually, like, more specifically, I think they own them at home. I want to say it's like 5 straight they've won at home against the Carolina Panthers. And I think it's been 5 straight they may have covered too, but that I haven't looked into. I know it's 5 straight they've won at home against Carolina in this spot. And again, when this is a week where it's like all division games, I'll throw trends out there, but like this is like chaos week of week 18. You got to throw some of these trends. Some of this shit has to go out the window because a lot of this is more do or die. Teams have nothing to play for. Some teams are playing backups. This is a big first half week for me. Like, there's a lot of teams, I think, like, first half money lines, first half spreads are the way to go. But going full game, highly questionable. This is not one of those games. But I am going to throw away the trends of, like, division road dogs, which this year, altogether, 21-19-1 ATS, but they're only 14-27 straight up, which I want to say is only like 28%, give or take. I'm trying to get my calculator. What did I say? 14-21 and 14-27. So 14 divided by 41. Yeah, that's only 34% that division road dogs have won outright all year. Doesn't look good. This is not going to be my dog of the week, although I am on your side. I am taking the Panthers plus the 3. This is a spot where I think if you're a Buccaneers division better, like Bucks to win the division, this is the spot you had your bet starting. Even though technically, if the Bucks do win, there's a chance they could still lose this division game with Atlanta and the Saints. Where I want to say they need the Saints to win and beat Atlanta, but now the Saints. We'll talk about it later. But Saints do not have an offense anymore right now for Week 18, and the Panthers, they win, they lose, they win, they lose, and it's been 10 straight weeks of it. They lost last week, so naturally, like, they should win. Even though they're a division road underdog in Tampa. This year, the Panthers as road dogs, 3-2 straight up. And I think if you look at the odds right now, like there's a reason the Panthers are minus, I think it's like minus 400 to win the division. Just know that before you go and place your money on Carolina, like I'm sure me and Money Mansman have already done, Bryce Young historically does not do well in this spot. 2-5 straight up, 3-4 ATS as a division road underdog. And again, as I said, teams this year, they're 51% ATS, but 34% straight up. Bryce won his first game ever against Tampa less than a month ago. And I think if you remember correctly, it took Baker Mayfield driving the ball down. He threw a pick to lose the game. It wasn't anything that Bryce did magically. It wasn't that he had the most stellar game on earth. I mean, he didn't do bad, but just remember that he only beat them once ever, and it was barely less than a month ago.
Great point.
But again, you have Tampa.
Carolina defense, just real quick, sorry to interrupt, but Carolina defense is the play here because when they've won well, Carolina's defense has come to play. So great point. I would not run to bet Bryce props like, Bryce 3 touchdowns, Bryce over yards. You're 100% right. This is more Carolina's defense making some plays, but sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And I'm glad you said that too, because I don't know if that's going to happen either. Tampa has 8 straight failed covers. They're 1-6 ATS at home all year, but they're 6-1 to the over at home. They've allowed, and when I say they, it's the Bucks. They've allowed 25 points to opposing teams on average this year. The team total for the Panthers is 20.5. The Bucks, on the other hand, they put up on average 25 points at home as the team. This year, if you look at Bucks home games, team totals are 175 to 175. But Tampa's team total is 23.5. That doesn't seem to really make a lot of sense to me if it's going to be a dead even. So I really do like the Panthers team total over. I love this more as my over of the week, though, because I just think 43.5. This Tampa defense gave up on Quinn Ewers. Yeah. And Bryce Young, I think it's McMillan, I think, and Rico Dowdle. They have a lot of player incentives riding this week. I think Rico only needs like 7 rushing yards or something, but he needs another touchdown. I think McMillan needs a touchdown or 2. I think there's like a tight end that's going for it as well. So, and Tampa's defense, I mean, they are not good. But Carolina's has been so hit and miss. I think this is the game we're going to see a somewhat shootout. So this is my over of the week. I'm going 43.5. Just games in Tampa, they tend to be high scoring games. Tampa always fucking seems to blow it out.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think my guess is it will be an over. My guess is it'll be an over as well. So, if I had to guess, I would say, yeah, I think it's going to be over, but I think Carolina's defense is going to force a couple turnovers. Because, again, in the games, like, I think in the games the Panthers have won convincingly after the losses, when you go back to sort of the Bucks game, they got the turnover. The Rams game, they forced a ton of interceptions. Like I would expect Carolina's defense is going to get some turnovers in this game. And if they don't, Tampa will win. I think you're right. I think if Bucks get over, I think the Bucks are going to win.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's defense, I want to say they're 8th in interceptions. They've got 14 on the year. They're just not really good at the stacks, and they're not really the best at getting pressure. And really, with fumbles, it really is hit and miss. So, and they're still like at best, I think, a middle of the road defense. But this comes down to, does Baker Mayfield show up? I don't think he hasn't shown up in 10 weeks. I'd make the case. So I don't see Baker Mayfield besting this team over a field goal. Like this really could be 24-21, 27-24. Like it could be the game we saw last time. Is Baker going to drive and get the score, or is he going to throw another interception to lose the season?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they could be. Ugh, that's all right. I'm done with the NFC South for now. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to
On Saturday
the
night,
game
this
of the
is what
week,
should have.
probably.
Oh, 100%. San Francisco 49ers, the Niner faithful. Saturday night blackout. They're debuting their NFL rivalry jerseys, the blackout jerseys. Seattle 13-3. They are traveling to Levi Stadium. It's now 2.5-point division road favorites. The Niners are home dogs at plus 125. 47.5 is the total. And I guess earlier you gave out your dog of the week. I believe it is now my turn. This is my dog of the week. I'm stepping into this with the 49ers plus 125. And really, this, for me, not so much about the trends. This is more about the spot. This is wrong team favored. This is a Chewbacca line, if you ask me. And for those watching, if you don't know what a Chewbacca line is, this is a line that does not make any sense. And this, I do not think the Niners should be a dog. They should be favored in this spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca.
It does not make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you must bet the home underdog in this side. Truthfully, the way the Niners offense has clicked and looked the past few weeks, I don't want to say they're the dark horse contender because they could easily become the number 1 seed if they win in this spot. I do think if the Niners win and get the 1, though, they probably win the whole conference. And I think we see them in the Super Bowl. Especially a Levi Stadium Super Bowl, too. So I think there's going to be that extra motivation. This Seahawks team, on the other hand, they are so up and down. I really can't get them right most of the time. I think it should be flip where Seattle was catching the 1.5. Really, it should be a pick 'em. But even going to the trends, Brock Purdy 5-1 against the Seattle Seahawks as a starter. San Fran since 2022, aka since Russell Wilson left, they are 7-1 against the Seattle Seahawks. We saw Sam Darnold in the spot last year as a Viking lose really bad to the Detroit Lions, which I think is a whole different game, whole different argument. My point is Sam Darnold is too inconsistent at quarterback. And prime example, I don't know if we're going to get the Sam Darnold in week 1 who only threw for 150 against the Niners the first time he played them and lost. I don't know if this Niners defense shows up because they've been giving up points left and right as well. But is this going to be week 11, Sam Darnold, who threw for 279 against the Rams, but threw 4 interceptions on the road in SoFi Stadium, only lost because of a missed field goal? But let's be honest, was that the real reason they lost? I don't think it was. I think it was Sam Darnold throwing 4 interceptions, not scoring more. You hold the Rams to 21, you probably should win. I mean, Atlanta fucking managed to do it, and they gave up more. But also, are we going to get week 16 Sam Darnold that we literally just saw put down the same Rams team? But they only came back down 30-14 because of a Rashid Shaheed punt return. And then Sam Darnold decided to get it together. And that game came down to overtime where the Rams scored on the first drive. And the Seahawks, again, credit to Sam. He did lead the drive. He did get the 2-point conversion. But look at what it takes for this Seahawks team to do well against playoff caliber teams. And I'm not even mentioning what happened with the Colts. I mean, the Vikings game with Max Brosmer, I think, was a one-off, but Sam did not have a great game against that team. And now we're going to lay 2.5. It just seems like you're hedging on this Niners defense being shit. And I just don't know what more of a wake-up spot you're going to get with that defense, but that Niners offense right now looks unstoppable. And even with the Seattle Seahawks on the road, who are really, really good ATS and straight up, I get that. But I just think like if you're stepping in this one way or another, I'd rather step in it with the Niners here, with them getting points. I just don't get why. The only way Seattle wins this is that their defense, they stop Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. But I think even if you do that, you then need Sam Darnold to not throw 4 interceptions and pop off. I just don't see both happening. So that's my take. Niners, dog of the week.
So I do agree with the Niners pick. I'm less optimistic than you are. Obviously, because I made Carolina my dog of the week. Have you ever seen a situation like this? I mean, how funny is this? Sam Darnold is literally in the exact same spot he was last year. Winning, you're the 1 seed. Lose, you're a wild card team. Like, how crazy is this scenario? I don't know. The Niners they own the Seahawks. I think it's 7 of the last 8 they've won against Seattle. We talk about the NFC West flow chart all the time. And the NFC flow chart, more times than not, if you follow it, you're going to win. And I know the Seahawks are a good road team, but it seems like in this spot, and I hate to say it, because part of me, like, as a person, I really want Sam to do it because he got run out of New York. Like, he's bounced around. Like, I like Sam. But this is the Sam Darnold fold spot. This is the 3 interception, duck performance, Niners roll 34-13. I think the line reflected the fact that I guess earlier in the week there was some discussion about like maybe the Niners would be careful about who they played. But I don't know. I think the Niners are going to go for the win. And I've seen Sam Darnold too many times in this spot. This is the Sam Darnold fold spot. We've seen it before. We saw it the last time these two teams played. And I think you're going to see it again. I think San Fran's going to win this game. And miraculously, despite all the injuries, despite the fact that Mac Jones was their quarterback for half the year, they're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. And it's crazy to think about. But
well, think of it this way. No Brandon Ayuk due to injury. They traded Deebo Samuel. And they still might be the number 1 seed.
It's incredible. Their defense isn't that great, but they good against the run and they get timely turnovers, and their offense has been really good despite the fact that Mac Jones was their quarterback for half the year and Ricky Pearsall has been out for an incredible job by the Niners. And you could make the case that their coach should be the coach of the year.
I think that's a little bit more motivation for Shanahan. You think he wins this against the 1. He's in contention with Vrabel to win Coach of the Year.
I think Vrabel probably deserves it and will get it, but although Ben Johnson too could get it. Either one. I mean, there's a few really good coaching jobs this year. Sean Payton could get it, for Christ's sakes. You could make an argument.
God, I don't think you could give it to Payton. I know you can make the case, but I'm not sold on. I'm not really sold on his coaching style. I'm not sold on the way he's been winning games. The one difference you can make with Vrabel, I think the one leg up on Vrabel, if you're Denver, is Denver has beaten playoff caliber teams ish. New England, on the other hand, has. Which, look, you can only play the team in front of you, but they haven't played anyone serious other than the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, bro, when you think about it, not to get too far into a crazy tangent, but think of some of the coaching jobs this year. Like, Seattle was a below 500 team last year. They're playing for the number 1 seed. Shanahan has basically had, like, his entire team injured, playing for the number 1 seed. Ben Johnson, the Bears were a joke. Now they're one of the best teams in the NFC. Look at obviously Vrabel with the Patriots. They were the worst team in the division. Now they're, the number 2 seed. Look at Denver. I mean, hell, look at D'Amico Ryans. Houston, remember Houston was unbettable in the beginning of the year where they,
0-3.
They couldn't even beat Tennessee practically. Like they were one of the worst teams in football, and all they've done is rattle off, 11-6 season or 10, whatever 5-loss season. So there's a lot of really great coaching jobs this year. The coach of the year, there's a lot of guys you could give it to because there've been some really, really good coaching jobs.
Well, you know who you can't give it to? Either of these next two teams. Let me get rid of the banner. Let's get through this one.
Why don't you introduce them? I'll be right back. I'm gonna take my minute.
Go for it. All right, we got the Cleveland Browns, head coached by Kevin Stefanski, former coach of the year at winner. Catching 7.5 on the road as a division road dog, plus 300 on the money line. They're going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Minus 7.5 for them, minus 380. 44.5 is the total. Oh boy. I really don't know if I have too much here. I'm waiting on my co-host to get back here. We got some comments here. We'll see here. We got a big Bears fan here. What's up, Red One? What's going on, man? We're just giving out our best picks. We're on the best picks for the week. We're on our third game so far. Jesus Christ, Cincinnati. They're 5-2 straight up in ATS as home favorites. And this is more about Cleveland on the road where their defense does not travel. Browns are also coming off an ugly-ass win against the shitty Steelers where they are they're 0-6 off a win. And I don't know if I want to bet on Shedeur Sanders here in this spot. And this seems like the big Joe Burrow closeout game. I got nothing much more on this, so I'm taking Cincy here. I'm waiting on my co-host here. Where are we from? We're both from Maryland. What about you, man? Well, hopefully my co-host gets back here, but okay. Any day now. What am I going to? I know what I was going to. And he's back.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I had to take my many medicines to try and avoid dying.
Gotta love that for you. Yeah, I went with Cincy. They've won 5 of the last 6. I know they don't really cover, but this is just a shit. This is a shit Browns team on the road. No, their defense doesn't travel. Joe Burrow get up spot. That's really about it. Otherwise, I got nothing.
Yeah, this game is the Myles Garrett sack watch, which he will get the sack. That's going to happen.
You think so? I knew I was forgetting to talk about something, but that was...
Yeah, Myles Garrett will get the sack because neither of these teams have anything to play for, and we know what Cincinnati's offensive line looks like. I hate to say it because in the Caser contest, we need to go heads up, but I'm agreeing with you on all of these. Cleveland had their Super Bowl last week. They won their Super Bowl.
Oh, against Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
The shitty Steelers.
At home, last home game, beat the Steelers. That was their Super Bowl. They're going on the road to Cincy. They're a dead team walking. This is the Myles Garrett sack watch. They're literally just going to be trying to get him sacks. Who knows? Maybe Cincinnati will throw the ball 70 times just to try and get him the record. This is an incentives game. I expect Jamar Chase will get a ton of yards. Burrow will get a ton of yards. T. Higgins will get a ton of yards. Like, Cleveland had their Super Bowl. They're not playing hard. Stefanski's a dead man walking.
So is Zach Taylor, if you ask me. I mean, there's talks that Joe Burrow might want out of Cincinnati. I was gonna say, I forget which, I don't think it was 16 or 17, but there was something I saw where literally Cincinnati was gonna get a fine because it snowed in their stadium and they refused to clear out the seating.
What a joke.
Because
of a franchise.
They literally were like, it's cheaper to take a fine than to shovel out snow for our ADA handicap people.
Well, see, unlike Buffalo, Bengals fans wouldn't come and shovel.
I guess
Bills fans come and shovel, not Bengals fans. Oh, by the way, the over under for this game is miraculously low. This is a massive over spot. Two teams, they don't care. This is gonna be dead over. Over of the week. Why not? Over of the week.
Interesting. Yeah, what the hell? I'll ride the over with you. Why not? Look at you. Last time we did a show, you did Cincinnati as an over game as well against Baltimore.
How'd that work out for me?
I don't really remember. I don't want to say.
I don't remember either.
See. Baltimore Cincy. No, it was an under game.
Yeah, I figured. No, this one will be an over game. Two teams don't care.
No, not at all. Let's move on. Like you're over the week, though. Moving on. New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, the NFC East rivalry lives on once again. Giants are catching 3.5. Cowboys are laying 3.5. Minus 185 for the Cowboys, plus 155 for the Giants. 49.5 is the total. The biggest total on the card all week. Jesus. God, am I going to do that? I'll let you go. I need to think to myself before I say what I'm going to say.
That's okay, because I'm gonna think out loud too. So everything here tells me Giants are the play. Cowboys, they were in the running. They had a disappointing end to the year. I actually thought that Dallas was going to beat the Chargers at home, and they didn't. And they did beat Washington last week. They're now going to the Giants. Jackson Dart playing for his job. Giants interim coach Mike Kafka coaching for his next job as an OC somewhere. Everything to me screams that like the Giants would want to win this game more. But then you have to remember Dak Prescott against the Giants.
Yeah.
14-game winning streak. Hasn't lost against them in 10 years. 2016. Last time he lost to the Giants. Based on that, I have to look to the Cowboys, buddy. Dak Prescott owns the Giants. And I'm sure there's people on Dallas who need their stats. They need their little catches and yards and statistics. So even though the Giants want to win, they beat the Raiders. They're not the number one seed or number one draft pick, but Dallas owns the Giants, and Dak Prescott might just put up 400 yards just because he can.
You know what? I think I'm going to talk myself out of this. I was going to make this my best bet and take Dallas.
Oh.
I'm going to talk myself out of it. I've heard a lot of sharps from what I've been listening. A lot of sharps are on the Giants this week. Looking at the betting splits here too. Where I just had you. Where did you? Here we go. So 88% of the bets, 91% of the money is on Dallas to win. They're only getting 54% of the money on the spread, though. But they're getting more of the tickets. So it just seems like Dallas is the public side. And I don't know if I really like betting Dallas as a big public favorite in Week 18. No Javonte Williams. And I just think, like, when they had him earlier this year, they almost lost to Russell Wilson at home. And I think that game went to overtime, if I remember correctly. But Cowboys have won 16 of the last 17. They covered 12 of those. They're 6-2 ATS in MetLife. 4-1 ATS as road favorites in MetLife against the Giants. And the Giants are coming off of what I think is their Super Bowl, where they effortlessly took down a Raiders team that could be relegated to a Mexican flag football team. I see that Dak is planning to start, but I have a feeling we're going to see Joe Milton III. And I'm assuming the Giant starters are going to be out there as well in a meaningless game. And the Cowboys beat up shit teams. It is what they do. Here's why I'm going to talk myself out of it, though. Dallas released Trevon Diggs for what seems to be no reason after they literally signed him to what I think was a $92 million deal in the offseason.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird...
That to me screams Jerry saw that Diggs was arrested and just said, fuck it, release him. Not realizing it was the wrong Diggs.
Well, those
Green Bay immediately picks him up off waivers and signs him to the team for their playoff run, which tells me, like, somebody fucked up in Dallas. I don't know. So now there's no Trevon Diggs. Giants have nothing to lose. And this just seems like the public Barney spot where, well, you're getting Dallas minus 3.5 against the shit Giants team. Bet Dallas. I'm going to pick them, but I'm not making it my best bet anymore. And I haven't played money on it yet. Thank God. I was about to do it. But I'm not going to pull the trigger. But I'm going to take Dallas here in this spot. And I'm going to take the over 51.5 too. I actually have played this already. I think out of the 16 weeks we've seen already from Dallas, they're 15-1 to the first half overs. And I'm playing that again this week too. Because I could just see I could see this being a shootout first half.
Yeah.
So I'm going Dallas first half over 24.5, which is a lot of points, but they did it to Washington. I think they could get it with the Giants too.
Well, at this rate, I'm going to have to congratulate you on winning the Caser contest. Picking a bad week to be all the same. I mean, I guess I could play the Giants just for the fun of it, but I think that's... I think you're on the right side. I'll probably just... I might do it just to keep it interesting, but I do think Dallas is going to... I think Dallas is going to win by substantial margin, as they often do in these games.
Yeah. All right. I have to. All right. I think I have my next best bet. And I'm gonna keep that one simple. But let's move on. Minnesota, Green Bay. Minnesota is out of the playoff run. Green Bay is locked into the wild card. I believe they're locked into the 7. I don't think there's any way they can move up, if my memory serves correct. But either way, Minnesota is now laying 9.5 at home against this Green Bay Packers. It is not Jordan Love. It is not Malik Willis. This line's already jumped to 10 on Bet365. 37 is the total, plus 3.5 to 1, plus 350 for the Packers, minus 450 for the Vikings. Oh, God. It's going to be Max Brosmer versus... what is this fucker's name? Clayton Tune.
Clayton Tune, by the way, you might remember him.
Here's my handicap. Oh, hold on. Clayton Tune.
He played.
Remind me.
He played. I'm glad I looked this up because I remember this guy now. He played in Arizona against Cleveland in 2023.
That's right.
Yeah, sacked 7 times, 2 picks. 27 goose, lost to Cleveland.
I remember him now. Well, that explains why this number is shot up from 6.5 to 10. All right, I'm trusting Vegas on this one God, I really, now that it's double digits, I kind of I want to take Green Bay, but I can't do it. So off a loss, Green Bay's 0-5 ATS this year. I'm not like, this is like a third stringer versus third stringer. This is like a preseason game. And if the book is laying 10 on a preseason game, it just doesn't feel right. But sometimes Vegas knows what they're doing. And it just seems like whoever is betting on Minnesota is really driving this number up. Or there's just so much public action that they have to. So I'm kind of wondering when is the right moment to like bet the other side. I don't know. I don't know if I want to bet on a guy who got sacked 7 times against Cleveland a year or two ago and lost. He didn't really look good in that one drive against Baltimore last week when Malik Willis came out.
Oh, supposedly it's what's his name? JJ McCarthy, by the way. I think it's JJ McCarthy.
Wait, JJ is starting?
Yeah.
Bet the 10. Take Green Bay. I can't. The guy has a hand injury. Should have been out for the year. This Minnesota team is in dysfunction. I can't do it. Take the 10. I really don't know. I'm not betting -10 on JJ.
I'm not betting.
That I wanted to bet it. Not that I wanted to bet with fucking Brosmer, but
Brosmer did win a game.
I guess.
How the fuck did the Lions lose to fucking Max Brosmer, who threw for like 10 yards? Anyway. Anywho. Well, I guess I got to play Minnesota to keep the contest and it's interesting. No, I look, Clayton Tune, 27-0 in his only start. I don't know what's going to happen in the game, but I know at the very least Minnesota's defense is going to show up. So Minnesota, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not playing this game. If I had to choose, I think I'd choose Minnesota. But JJ McCarthy being back does scare me if he's not 100%.
I
think I'd rather have Max Brosmer just because Max Brosmer will just hand the ball off and not throw 3 interceptions. Like, I could see McCarthy pressing because he's playing for his life and he fucking throws like 4 pick sixes. And that's the only way I think I lose. So I'm a little less confident with McCarthy.
I mean, there's apparently a hairline fracture in his hand and he's going to play.
It's what ESPN's telling me.
Like, is it? I just wonder, is this like a fucking mechanism where JJ will start and then he'll be benched the rest of the game and then we'll see Brosmer?
But why even start him then? It's the point. He doesn't have a record. Trust me, he hasn't played all year. It's not like he's like Josh Allen will go out, hand the ball off just to say that he played in his 50,000 straight game. But McCarthy's not doing that.
I guess. But,
excuse me, 1 minute.
Except I could see Buffalo riding with Josh in that first half. I don't get what the fuck this Vikings team is doing. Like, why would you start JJ? And even if you do start JJ, like, you're telling me with Brosmer, it started at 6.5. You're then telling me Clayton Tune starts, it jumps to 8, 8.5. Okay, fine. I get it. 9.5, I was kind of sitting there like, okay, questionable, but I guess. Now it's jumped to 10, and now JJ starting. Was JJ McCarthy really worth 3.5 points? I don't think so. That's where I'm kind of like, I guess I don't know what the contest number is, but if it's 10, I can't tell you to back the Vikings in that spot. But I don't like contest play. Yeah, I don't either.
Just think Minnesota could have had Sam Darnold. Like, how fucking stupid are they?
They could have.
I guess the genius isn't so smart after all.
Yeah, I guess not. And you know what? With that said, I'm making this an under 36.5 for me at this total. This is just, I mean, I would say under first half too. Yeah, it's a 17.5 first half. I'd bet under. JJ McCarthy does not show up in the first half. Remember, he's always been a second half come from behind guy.
Yeah. And he's playing hurt.
And he's hurt.
Yeah. He might get knocked out of this game. It would not surprise me. It's bad because I'm not wishing harm on him, but I kind of like it'd be interesting if he did because Kevin O'Connell, the genius, gets his fucking rookie quarterback or second year quarterback hurt playing him in a meaningless shit game. Green Bay. Oh, by the way, real quick, just one final note on Green Bay. They're the Buffalo Bills of the NFC. They are
100%.
they are one and done. Overrated, dead team walking. Green Bay Packers, one and done.
Fair enough. All right, I guess I gotta make this line too. All right, I'm ready to move on. I got nothing left.
Yeah.
Green Bay shit. They're one and done. All right, moving on. It's the Indianapolis Colts, now being led by Riley Leonard, making his very first rookie debut start, catching 10, going to Houston to take on the Texans, who are essentially, if I'm trying to think if they have the wild card locked. Yeah, it's locked.
So just to confirm though, Texans win, Jags lose. Houston wins the division. So they do have something to play for.
Okay. Let me put that in. That is correct. Okay. Thank you for saying that because I wasn't aware. So Colts are 4-1 road underdogs. Texans are minus 550. 39.5 is the total. Mansman, I think it's your turn to start us off. I'm gonna let you go, but
yeah,
this is ugly.
This gonna be an ugly game. Houston all the way. I just think their defense is too good. I think is this an AFC South flowchart game? I can't remember if no, I think that's
Sort of.
Jacksonville.
It is, but sort of.
Either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think Indianapolis. Here's how much they believe in Riley Leonard. They got a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers off his couch to play. That's how much they believed in Riley Leonard. They're now throwing him against the best defense in football. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Houston here and just call it a day and move on with our lives.
All right. So remember when I said this was sort of a flowchart game?
Mm-hmm.
The flowchart is you take the road team. But you're kind of on par with where I was going with this game. So looking at the flowchart, if you go back to 2015, the Texans have only won 3 times at home against the Colts. So they are 3-7-1 going back to 2015. Outright. God. You know, sometimes when you're a pro bettor, even though I'm not a pro per se, you got to bet some ugly lines. You have to take some chances. I'm taking a chance here. And God, again, I feel like I'm stepping in this, but I'm stepping into the Colts plus 10 as my fade of the week. I'm fading Houston. I'm fading this Houston team at home with everything on the line. This is about the number. This is not about Riley Leonard. This is not about the Texans being a shit team in this spot. Look, going back this year, there's been 8 rookie debuts. 2 of them have won outright. Jackson Dart against the Chargers at home. Shador Sanders against the Raiders. If you want to add in JJ, that's 3 out of 9. I don't think the Colts need to be catching double digits, though. They've been losing since November, and they're 1-7 in that stretch. So I'm not shocked that this number is as high as it is. But since 2002, so since the Texans have been an NFL team, they've covered this number only twice against the Indianapolis Colts. 3 times if you want to count a push, because one game ended in 10. 90% of the bets are on the Texans team to win outright, but there's only 53% of the handle and 63% of the money on the Texans minus 10.5. Kind of inclines me to think that there's some sharp money coming in on the Indianapolis Colts here. And looking at other trends, since 2022, the Texans are 5-1-1 straight up against the Colts, but they're only 4-3 ATS. They're 1-3 as favorites against the Colts. And it's not that I'm here saying, like, let's lay points because this is a rookie quarterback debut. All year I faded this spot, and I was pretty goddamn profitable, so why am I switching it now? It's not that I think the Colts win. I've seen Carson Wentz, Anthony Richardson, Gardner Minshew. I've seen Matt Ryan tie this team and cover this number. I think for the Texans, it's not that it's a meaningless game. I've seen them against the best. I've seen them against the worst. They don't blow teams out necessarily. They tend to just play comfortably close. And this is a game where, like, I think even if you're up 17, this could backdoor cover. I think if you get the 10.5 hook, you have to hit the Colts. Especially if you were early and bet the Texans. Bet the other side, try to middle. But
well, I hear what you're saying, but don't think it's a good handicap.
Well, and I think
literally all you need to know
is not the Colts' offense has not been the problem. It's been their defense. And I don't think CJ Stroud has really been electric as a quarterback. I don't see CJ throwing 4 tutties, 500 yards. Like, this could be 60% completions, 2 touchdowns, a pick. I can see a couple 3 and outs. I just think this is going to be a lot closer than we think.
Okay.
And these two teams always play close.
Colts might get shut out in this game.
And if they do, they do. And if I'm stepping in it, so be it. Like, because you're right. It's a rookie debut. And I hear you. They did throw in Phillip Rivers. But I'm also thinking, like, they could have rode with Phillip Rivers one last time. He's stepping back and saying, let the rookie come in. I think that's more telling. Like, Rivers could do it, but he's not. I don't think he can keep up. Riley Leonard, like, I think he's had some snaps. I know it's a start. I think the way the Colts offense moves, they could keep it competitive. And I just think
it's crazy because their offense hasn't been terrible, all things considered. They're playing with a 44-year-old, and Rivers wasn't horrible.
I guess that's my thinking. Like, it hasn't been that terrible with Rivers, so could it be any... I mean, it could be worse with Riley Leonard. But if there's letting him step in, I think there's a chance. So, again, I don't think Colts win. Like, if I was going to tease one team or the other, I would tease the Texans down to 4.5. But I think this number's gotten way too high.
Okay, good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, we need it for the contest.
There you go. Keeping it interesting.
All right, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Atlanta, New Orleans. Basically, either this will be a dead game or this will be for all the marbles in the NFC South. The Falcons are laying 3.5, minus 190. Saints are plus 160 on the road. 43.5 is the total. No more Chris Olave. He's out for the season due to a medical emergency with a blood clot. We'll be thinking about him from the sidelines. And with that said, there goes New Orleans offense. I'm hopping off the Shuck train because Chris Olave already did, but Atlanta is just red hot right now on offense to end the season. They're in a meaningless game. They have nothing to play for, so there's nothing for them to lose. And they're beating up an injured NFC South team that they, I think, have the biggest rivalry with. And there's no other real playmakers for this Saints team. Like, I wish there was like another week or two of Atlanta. I wish Atlanta honestly was the fucking division winner, because then I could fade the shit out of them in the playoffs. But the way they're clicking with Kirk Cousins right now, which really he didn't even have that great of a game last week. Bijan Robinson was the story.
Yeah.
I'm hopping off the Shuck train. Like, it was nice, but I think without his number one, no real running back, I don't see how this team scores. So I think you know what? I'm gonna do it. This is my under of the week. I'm gonna go under 43.5 in this spot too. Oh shit. That's what it was. So Atlanta is coming off Monday night. They're the winners. So teams in that spot, so winning teams off Monday night the week after, they're 12-5 to the under.
Yeah.
So
I hate to say it, not good for the contest. I agree with your handicap completely. Falcons have won 3 straight games. Their offense is looking better. That they're playing their best football at the wrong time. And I'm kind of like you. I think the Saints are sort of due for a loss. I think Shuck has done enough to get a chance beginning of next year. Kind of played the Saints out of a high draft pick. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Falcons are the side here at home. I think 5 of the last 6 in this contest, the home team has won. So that favors Atlanta. And if you remember, Kirko actually beat the Saints earlier in the season playing for the Falcons. That was actually a Kirko that was the Kirko Cousins game. 2 touchdowns in that game. So seems like Kirko has the Saints number. I'm in agreement with you. I think the Falcons are the play. I think in the contest it was even lower. I think it might have been 2.5 in the contest. The hook does scare me a little bit, but I still think the Falcons are the right play.
yeah, and I think I forgot what the number was. I think they're like 70% in meaningless games, like after they've been eliminated. ATS, but when they're playing for something or they're in the running, they're like 46%.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, like I forgot what the numbers were, but it was really, really hilarious to see. So, yeah, all over Atlanta. Can't believe I took the NFC South and made them my plays of the week for over unders.
Yeah, figure. That's funny.
Got to keep it interesting. All right, next up, AFC South. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans at home, laying 13.5 minus 800, 47.5 is the total. The Titans are 5.5 to 1 underdogs. The Jags are in a very, very unique position. They cannot get the 4 seed. However, every other seeding in the playoffs right now for the AFC is up for grabs with this team. They could literally be as high as the 1 and as low as the 7 seed with a lot of help. But more likely than not, say they do win this game, they clinch the 3rd. I think it's if New England somehow loses and Jacksonville wins, they get the 2. If New England and Denver lose and Jacksonville wins, Jacksonville gets the 1. But if Jacksonville loses, they immediately fall to the 5. If Buffalo wins, Jacksonville falls to the 6. If the Chargers somehow win and Jacksonville loses, they could fall to the 7 seed and then have to go back to Denver. So, a lot of interesting ways this could play out for the Jags. But I think we keep this simple. Jags are going to win. The Titans, they're off of auto fade because they've been somewhat profitable lately. But again, I don't know. I did this with the AFC South. I guess I'm ending up doing it again. I'm going to take the 13.5 with Tennessee. Although I'm not going to bet it. Like, this is going to be purely for contest. Jags are 0-2 ATS against the Titans in Week 18 with Trevor Lawrence. However, Trevor is 2-0 at home in Week 18. One of which was against the Titans here. Under Mike McCoy, again, the offense has not been the problem. It's this defense that has just been unbearable. Jags, they're 6-1 in the last 7 against Tennessee. I just don't know how far into the weeds this Jags team is really going to play for here, because they've already clinched the playoffs. I guess you could say they could come out and fight for the 1 seed, but do you really want to like, I've seen teams in this spot where like you're banking on 2 teams to lose and they're both winners. Rarely does that ever pan your way. I don't see New England and Denver both losing. I can see one or the other. But if that happens, it doesn't matter. Jacksonville wins, they're the 3. And that's that. And I really think that's what this team is just going to play. They're going to play to win, but they're not going to play to make a statement. They're not going to play to blow a team out. They're not going to, I don't think they show up in force, because I think they're going to be more focused on the wild card weekend. And this to me just looks like a Trevor Sleepy spot where they could pull him after the first half one way or another. Because even if I'm wrong, and let's say they do come out and blow him out the water 28-0, Trev could get pulled in the first half. And I could just see a second half come from behind with Cam Ward. I could see this game being too close for comfort, and the Jags just pull their starters. And realistically, I just don't. I think 13.5 is just too much. And again, you're always worried about the backdoor cover. And in this type of week, I don't want to lay that much with Jacksonville. There's only like 1 or 2 teams I would say, if Jacksonville was playing, you just 100% lay it. But the way the Titans have been lately, I think it's a little too much.
Okay. So the Titans and Jags, when they played earlier this year, 25-3 Jacksonville. This is my best bet.
Okay.
Call it the Barney Bester. Give me the Jags minus 13.5. And here's why. And you kind of described it. They have the benefit of the fact that Denver and New England play at 4:00. And Houston is probably going to beat Indianapolis, which means Jacksonville needs to win this game. They're going to be motivated to win the game. That's what I want against a team that they already blew their doors off of on the road. Jacksonville 6-2 at home. They're a good home team. They're getting ready to celebrate an AFC South title. And I think they're going to, I think your handicap's going to work in the sense of like, I could see the Titans maybe winning in the second half by a little bit. But I could see this game being another, like Trevor gets like 4 touchdown passes in the first half. The Jags come out of the locker room, get a touchdown to put it away 35-0. And then the Titans maybe get it to 35-14 by the end of the game. So
I'm going to write that down. Tennessee second half. I don't hate that handicap.
Because I think Jacksonville's
like
going to cruise. I think Jacksonville's going to cruise in this game.
I'm going to look into that. I don't hate that, because I really wanted to play Titans plus 13.5, but then I remembered, oh shit, I got to bet Tennessee.
Yeah, you just have to check the odds, because every Barney's going to be thinking the same way as me, that maybe Jacksonville's second half kind of takes their foot off the gas.
Do you do Jacksonville first half?
I would. I think you could. Probably Jacksonville minus what? 7.5, 9.5, maybe.
We could take a peep. Sorry, my phone is blowing up. I'm gonna look into that. What do you make of the over under though? Because this was another one I had a hard time with. It's 47.5, and with this high of a spread, like this to me screams like defenses won't show up, and I'm just like, why?
I'm a little scared just because I think the Jags defense might just bury the Titans, because again, 25-3 in the first game. Let me look at the stats in that game. Yeah, Cam Ward, 141 yards. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, Trevor 2 touchdowns, like minus 175 or something like that.
The real Josh Allen, 2 sacks.
Let's see. Titans. They're only 3-4 ATS in the second half. What are they last 5? 3-2. Okay. 3-2 on the road. At home, last 5. Jacksonville is 4-1 ATS in the second half at home. So maybe I don't play that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's week 18. You never know what's going to happen. I just think the Jags are going to cruise.
Can't fault the logic. I'm going under in this game, though. Makes sense with my handicap. Just a double-digit division road favorite or division road underdog. That's kind of what I'm leaning on here. But I think we're into the 4:00 window finally. LA Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Rams are 8.5-point favorites, minus 425. Cardinals plus 325, 46.5 is the total. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So the Rams are coming off the Monday night loss. Teams in this spot, losing teams off Monday Night Football, are 6-10 and 1 ATS. They are 6-11 straight up this year. I think it's going to be 7-11 though. Don't know how you bet on this Arizona Cardinals team. And looking through history here, the Rams own the Cardinals. McVay is 15-3. This is literally the same line as week 14, except the Rams are now the home team. But this is the same spread. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. This has to be my Barney Bester. Give me my best bet.
Killer whale, orca!
LA Rams, best bet.
Okay, so I will say for the contest, I may have to play Arizona. But here's my tough thing, right? So the Rams are kind of locked in. They're probably not going to play their starters the whole game. Problem is, it may not even matter. I mean, this Arizona team is. I mean, how many times have we bet Arizona to cover and they've done nothing? And it's gotten worse the longer the year has gone on.
Straight, I think they've lost and failed to cover.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, I think if you're going to bet, the Rams are the bet. Even resting their starters, I expect that the starters will come out and play, the first half or whatever. I don't think you can. I don't think you could trust Arizona here. We've trusted them so many times, and they've spat in our face and kicked us in the nuts. I'm not losing any more money with Arizona for the contest. I may play them to keep it interesting. Another interesting pick, but if you're gonna bet the Rams.
Yeah, and Cardinals are just going to be on auto fade. Again, love Jacoby Brissett. I hope he gets a real chance next year. I hope he gets another year to develop with the Cardinals. Maybe be a bridge quarterback for them before they throw in a rookie. But I mean, the only other thing I could see for the Cardinals showing up is Gannon. Is Gannon going to get this team up here?
Who drove over here? Let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut?
Yeah, I mean, is that guy going to be a leader of men? Lead this team to just forget winning. Can they cover and keep it close against the Rams?
He's led them to 8 straight losses, so there's that.
And it's gone.
There's his job. It's gone. I think Gannon's dead man walking here too. This could be the quit spot. If there hasn't been a quit spot for this Cardinals team yet, this is it. Nothing left for that team. All right. Mansman, I think we're going to have to fight. I think we're going to fight on this one. It's the Chicago Bears at home. Currently the NFC North champs. Taking on the Oh, I know. They're hosting the Detroit Lions, who are 3-point underdogs, plus 140 on the money line. 50.5 is the total. Bears are minus 165. Mansman, your thoughts? Let's see if we fight.
So, I mean, normally this is a spot where I like the Lions, a pride spot, nothing to play for. The Bears kind of have made the playoffs already. I do think they're trying to lock in the number 2 seed. I think also too Caleb Williams is going for the Bears passing record. So there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This just seems like, the Ben Johnson sort of the Ben Johnson game, the Ben Johnson revenge spot. Don't forget too, the Bears got clobbered by the Lions week 2, lost by 28 or over 20. What was that? 52-21 they lost.
Yeah,
so
it was a beatdown.
I have a weird feeling this could be like a Bears revenge spot, and that even though they're in the playoffs, they might put a hurting on the Lions just to sort of rub their noses in it. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the Lions. I thought they were better. They're clearly not. Yeah, give me the Bears. I think the Bears are going to lock in the 2 seed. I think Caleb Williams is going to get the record, and I think Ben Johnson is going to send a message to his former team. And I think they're going to play with some vengeance because they got rooked earlier in the season.
So in the last 4 Week 18 games, the Chicago Bears are 1-3 ATS in this spot. Specifically, they played 4 division games. They played Minnesota twice. They played Green Bay twice. They barely beat Green Bay last year with Caleb, and I think that's when Green Bay benched all their guys. Detroit, on the other hand, with Campbell, have gone 4-0 straight up in ATS. Unfortunately, that was the before times. And I think, so for Chicago, they need to win. Philly needs to lose. Is what I want to say. Yeah, because if Chicago loses this game, they're locked in the 3rd. If they win and Philly loses, they'll then move to the 2nd seed. Or wait, no. Did I fuck that up? No, sorry, you were right. Yeah, so if Chicago wins, they move to the 2. Okay, hang on. I remember my handicap now. So basically what this comes down to, and I'm going to remind you later, that is the only thing they can play for. It's what home field advantage does the Bears want? Do they win, get the 2, host the Packers at home in wild card after they've been well rested? Or do you lose, stay at the 3, you host the 49ers, the LA Rams? I honestly would say I'm excited to see a 49ers rematch in Chicago. I don't think it's going to happen, but you can make the case that you would want Green Bay. So, and I've lost 3 rounds of betting on the Lions. I can't make it a 4th. It's Jared Goff in the elements. It's Jared Goff in the cold. But the Bears are coming off a Sunday Night Football loss. Their teams are 6-10 ATS in that spot. At 3 or less, I'm going with Chicago. I don't feel like it's the right side, but I just don't think Detroit is either. I think at higher than 3, if you can get the hook, if you can get 4, I'd smash Detroit then. Maybe I'll live bet it. I'll see how the game goes in the first drive. And if I can get Detroit at that point, maybe I'll play it. But this just, it feels like Chicago or nothing to me. Although, again, I don't really know. Is Chicago that motivated to play Green Bay a 3rd time? Or they played too close for comfort both times? Actually, the last 3 times those 2 teams played, it was a lot close for comfort. So that's the only thing I'm wondering. Like, is there going to be some Ben Johnson strategy in this game? I don't know, but I guess Chicago.
Yeah, I think that's kind of I think that's sort of how you look at this game. I guess Chicago. because we have seen these efforts from Detroit, but I don't think it's the same Detroit team, and I don't think we could discount Ben Johnson.
You know, it's not that I want to discount Ben Johnson. I just think, Detroit does know him. And we saw that earlier in the year, but that was, again, in a dome. Way earlier in the season, before Detroit got decimated on defense. Now it's late in the season. You're going to be in the cold. I mean, Caleb, for what it's worth, I think he's looking like the number one overall pick that Chicago drafted. And it's almost amazing, like, what happens with teams when you have, like, competent coaching.
Yeah, I mean, we were making fun of him last year, and look at him now.
Yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. Oh, yeah, over-under, this one. I have over 50.5 on this one because I think one of two things will happen. Like, either the Bears will beat down in a revenge spot, or Detroit will, like, little brother Chicago. And, like, Detroit, they will not take their foot off the pedal. They'll just fucking roll Chicago like they did last time.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's over, too.
All right. AFC West battle. In a meaningless shit game, it's the Las Vegas Raiders, who currently hold the number one draft pick, plus 220 on the money line. They are hosting the 6-10. Oh, I forgot to fix the Raiders line. They are 2-14. They are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs at minus 270, minus 5.5 for their third string quarterback, Chris Oladukin, and 36 is the total. Mansman, it's not your team. It's not mine either. But I guess you have a little bit of insight with the Raiders. What the fuck is this? What is this game?
They're gonna play. They're gonna play Kenny Pickett and Aiden O'Connell, so they'll both have a chance to show why they should stay. So there's that.
Wait. They're saying Kenny Pickett and
they're gonna play both
O'Connell.
Because it's like a preseason game, basically. I mean, here's my handicap for this game: Raiders, because you'll probably play the Chiefs. So let's make the contest fun. Should it be the Raiders? No. Why? For what purpose? For what reason? They've quit on the year. They're going to lose. I don't know. I mean, the game terrible. Third string quarterback versus two third string quarterbacks. Ashton Genty's been a disappointment. Really, the whole Raiders have been a disappointment. Pete Carroll's basically collecting a paycheck at this point. God bless him.
I mean, so was who was their OC before they fired him?
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Yeah, Chip Kelly's collecting a check from not working.
I mean,
now he's head coach of the college team again. Why? I don't know. That's just another team he's going to drive into the dirt. You didn't mention the one thing I was hoping you would. The Raiders are a Ronald Mansman special. They got blown out last week by a shit team. And now they're catching points at home in a meaningless Week 18 game.
Oh, you're gonna make me play the Chiefs, you scumbag.
I'll have to see what the number is in the contest. I'll have to see.
I hate this game. I mean, you're so right, but do the Raiders have pride? Like they showed last week, they have no pride.
No. Here's my thing. This is no disrespect to his name is Chris Oladukin, I think is how you pronounce it. And I'm not trying to disrespect the man. Last Christmas against Denver, they were 13.5-point home underdogs, which I thought was reasonable. He got a touchdown in that game, and it was off a turnover, and it was a dump pass to Kareem Hunt. And he put up a whopping 13 for 22, 66 passing yards that remaining game.
Yeah.
Now he's a divisional road favorite. Why? Like, what is this line telling you? You're telling me on a neutral, Chris Oladokun and the Chiefs are 7 points better than Kenny Pickett and Aiden O'Connell. In what fucking world is that true? And even if you say it could happen, like, let's just say it's still reasonable to you. You're telling me that, like, over 50% of the time, Chris Oladokun is going to win in this spot?
And cover.
And cover. He's not just going to win. He's going to win by 6. Where on God's green earth does that make any sense? Like, are you really going to fade Steve Spagnuolo in this spot? Yeah, because, like, unfortunately, the Raiders are shit, but you can't win if you don't score. And I think unless the Chiefs defense gets turnover after turnover, which they could, they're not going to get anything on the board. I mean, their fucking kicker, Buttkiss can't fucking... He hits the broadside of a fucking barn door every fucking 10 kicks and misses his shit. And Oladokun had an adjusted QBR of 23 against the Titans in his debut. Like, did we just forget that the Chiefs have lost 5 straight? And 3 of those were with Mahomes? And now we're just going to bet them blindly as a road favorite to beat the Raiders? Like, why? Like, ignoring past trends and shit, this is a literal third stringer in a preseason game. And the public is only hitting the Chiefs' money line, and they're avoiding the spreads. Which tells me they're scared. And it tells me they're scared. That tells me, you know what, the Chiefs probably aren't the right side, but they don't want to lose their money with the Raiders. So this almost was fade of the week, but it's kind of hard to fade a shit team.
Yeah.
So, but I am fading the number. This is bonkers that this third stringer is going to lay 5.5. I don't care that it's the Raiders. This is wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words, but
I guess the only
can't
thing,
pick the Chiefs
the only thing is the question's going to be just, have the Raiders completely given up? And if so, then, that's what it's going to have to be.
Well, it's weird. Like, I mean, they may have given up, but I don't think Kenny Pickett or Aiden O'Connell's given up. I think they're playing for a start.
Yeah, I would think so, playing for their career. So I'm with you there. I don't know. This is a shit game. Let's move on, please, dear God. End the season already with these two teams.
Denver Broncos.
Yeah, it's the other AFC battle. Denver hosting the LA Chargers, led this time by Trey Lance. The Chargers are catching 13.5 on the road, plus 625 for the Chargers, minus 950 for Denver, minus 13.5 for them. 37.5 is the total. You're gonna make me.
Oh yeah, go first, buddy. What do you got? Number 1 seed? Feeling good? Feeling confident?
I mean, I think we'll win. I do think we get the number 1 seed. There's that. Why would anyone waste their money on Denver minus 13.5? I don't know. Like, I remember last year, Denver was in a very similar spot. You win and beat Kansas City's backup. You get a
Didn't
playoff
they
appearance.
kill Kansas City, though, in that game?
They shut out Carson Wentz 38-0.
Yeah, so there's your reason.
I think it's a lot different, though. Last year, like, Denver had all the momentum the right way. They were winning close games, but at the same time, there was that factor of, like, you need to win and get in. Denver has already locked the division, and they're basically telling themselves, like, I don't think it's that they're looking ahead. Like, I think they'll win. The problem I have is that last week, I watched Denver almost lose to a third stringer. Like, forget covering this number. Denver almost lost. And the Chargers they're benching Herbert off that loss to Houston. Trey Lance was not a bad backup for the Chargers in the preseason when I saw him play. So, like, there's a part of me that, like, wants to go and say, if you're going to bet a spread, bet the Chargers or nothing. because this number's too high. Bo Nix has covered as a home favorite once all year. He's failed to cover every other time. Why should this time be any different? Even with, and again, the answer would be, well, it's a backup. Well, we just saw that last week on the road. It didn't go so well. So if you want to martingale the Broncos, if you lost last week on them, if you want to double down, be my guest. It won't be me. But as long as Denver plays everyone, this very well could be a similar matchup where this could be another 38-0 shutout. I don't know. I can't bet on Denver to cover as a favorite. It has not gone well all year. I don't know why I would run back to it all of a sudden now. Like we can't even blow out a JV team because Sean Payton would coach them to be conservative and run bubble screens out of bounds every 2 to 3 yards, or run a halfback draw from shotgun on third down on long. But this game I think was 10.5 originally when it opened. And I was scared of the hook. It's moved up. I mean, I guess if Denver starting everyone, like, again, you would have to martingale it in order to play it. Like, you would have to take, like, that's the only way I could see it making sense as a pro bettor. Otherwise, I'd stay away from it.
Okay. Hear you. I think you're thinking correctly. This is my fade of the week. Give me the Chargers plus 13.5. Simple handicap, really. Trey Lance, what's he going to do? He's probably going to run around, maybe not turn the ball over that much. He's going to run around, which is what you want in a preseason type game. And remember, Chargers undefeated against Sean Payton. And honestly, I mean, this is a weird game. I give Denver about a 20% chance to maybe lose this game outright. Like, I could just see some weird shit happen.
I would say 25, truthfully.
I could see some weird shit happening and Denver just completely blowing it. Or Sean Payton pulls out his starters and you're like yelling at the TV, throwing shit. Like, I could see this. I don't know. I have a weird feeling that could happen.
I mean, the only reason I would say, like, I mean, if it was a blowout in the first half and Denver just can't do anything right, pull them, move on to the wild card, I guess. But if it's close or there's like, unless you're the team blowing them out, or like, that's really the only way I could see Sean Payton doing it. It's like 28 skunk one way or the other. Just pull the starters. Let them rest. Because at this point, you're playing for the one. You get a bye week. There's no reason to pull the starters if it's close. Because if you win, you get the week off after anyways.
Yeah.
And Chargers are resting like everybody. So
yeah,
it's not
that's the problem. You're playing the Chargers second string, but Denver hasn't blown out really a team all year. So I don't know.
We blew out one team this year. It was the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, other than that, which was 10 weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Chargers are going to keep
the Bengals. I guess you could say the Bengals, but really it wasn't a blowout. It was just like a shutout more than anything.
Well, 28-3. It's been a long time since those games, though. Look at their last 8 games, won by no more than a touchdown in a game.
Yeah. I may have to play Broncos in the contest just to keep it. If we can't get to 6 naturally, I may switch to the Broncos to get it heads up. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to have an argument to back the Broncos as a big double-digit favorite here.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't do it. All right. AFC East. The New England Patriots are taking on the Miami Dolphins at home at Gillette Stadium. They are 11.5-point favorites, minus 650, plus 475 for the Dolphins, 45.5 is the total. And Tua Tagovailoa is still benched. It is still Quinn Ewers. And I have live audio of what this game is going to look like.
You, Dolphin!
And yep, that's Dolphins getting murdered by the Japanese. I'm sorry, the Patriots. Mansman, your thoughts. 11.5 Quinn Ewers and what I guess will be the Patriots starters.
Well, Dolphins always play the Patriots close. You should know, we've seen this game before. Always seems like in these games, the Dolphins keep it close. Quentin Ewers, I mean, they got to win against the Bucs, who are just we talked about them tanking. It's week 18. Anything could happen. I think the Dolphins are going to keep the game close. It's Mike McDaniel's probably last game in Miami. I don't know if the team really wants to win for him or whatever. Normally I would say you're going to be New England. It's going to be cold, but you don't have Tua. Tua's a bitch. So he would lose, and Tua would lose in the cold, but Quentin Ewers, he may show a little bit more grit. So I've seen this game before. I think the Dolphins keep it close. Give me the Dolphins plus the points.
Wow, he's going with the Dolphins. I can see why Miami is tempting here. They're a double-digit division road underdog, which all these other games I've been taking them. One team needs to win. The other is out and playing a backup quarterback. Earlier we talked about the Tampa-Miami game. Quinn Ewers was not impressive in that game either. He put up Tua numbers. 172, 2 tutties against Tampa's defense at home. Miami's defense gave up 380 scrimmage yards, 327 of which was in the air. Miami had, let's see here. Miami's defense, they gave up 13 first downs, 7 of which were on the ground, which was important because Devon Achane, I believe, is out of this game. The Tampa Bay Bucks, they had 21 first downs in that game. Miami went 4 for 12 on third down at 33%. They were 1 for 3 in the red zone. They had 5 punts and 10 penalties in that game. You don't win a lot of games with that kind of performance. You don't really do well with those kind of numbers. The only reason I think they won against Tampa is because, unlike Tua, Ewers didn't throw an interception.
Yeah.
But I still don't think they're going to win and cover a lot of games. Playing the way Miami's defense played, they were terrible against the Bucs. I don't care that Stephon Diggs is in the news for all the wrong reasons. I mean, felonious assault, strangulation, whatever he allegedly did. I saw what New England just did to the Jets. I have no faith in this Dolphins defense here on the road in a meaningless game. And I think the Patriots are going to come out. Like, you want to talk about motivation? Maybe it won't be for the one. I think this is the game you secure your MVP for Drake May. You secure Coach of the Year for Vrabel. And I think you lock up the 2 and you pray and see who gets the set. Like, I think if you're the Patriots, lock the 2 in as quick as possible, get to the locker room, see who you're facing next week. Because that's, and not even as a look ahead, just like beat the shit out of the Dolphins, make it quick. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Quinn, don't get me wrong, I think Quinn Ewers after an offseason will be an interesting dark horse, but I have no hope for Miami, so I'm taking New England.
Okay. All right.
And I got under 45.5 in that one. Because again, those numbers I mentioned to you, how does Miami score in this game? Against New England? I don't know. What did they put up, 20?
Yeah, if you think it's going to be close, you have to like the under. So I think I'd have to go with the under.
All right. Mansman, are you ready? We only got, how many games do we have left? We have 3 games left.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now.
They're making something happen. The Bills are 8-point home favorites. They're hosting the New York Jets. who are 3-13, looking to end the season. Jets are plus 325. Bills are minus 425 on the money line. 37 is the whopping total. Last game ever at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Mansman, I know this is a bittersweet moment, so drip it in. Just take it in.
Yeah. Last game ever at Highmark Stadium, or I guess you could call it the Ralph.
The Ralph. Brady Cook getting another start, I want to say.
Yeah.
I sent you a video over the week. Jets fans are... I have never seen them... I've seen them miserable before. This is like a new level of defeated, dejected, demoralized Jets. I know you follow New York radio. I mean, is there any truth to this? I mean, they're already calling for Aaron Glenn to be fired.
Yeah. I think there's going to be pressure. I don't know if they're going to do
this
it.
Guy sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it, but it's possible.
I've seen it before. I saw it with Houston. They went one and done with the head coach. Or no, it was New England. New England went one and done with their head coach.
Then they got Vrabel.
And then they got Vrabel. So would not shock me if the Jets do it. But Mansman, it's your Bills. It's your team. I give you the honors. You're wearing your team MVP jersey.
James Cook. The rushing champ, because Jonathan Taylor plays in 1 o'clock, so they're going to know what he needs to be the rushing champ. So whatever those yards are, James Cook will be the rushing champion, barring a catastrophe. I do think we're going to see the Bills starters for a little bit, but I don't even think it's going to matter. Last game, Highmark Stadium, going to be very emotional for people in Buffalo, and the Jets have given up.
Yeah.
So I think the Bills will win. I think they'll cover. This game really, I mean, I don't really, nothing they do tomorrow is going to change anything in terms of how I view this team. I think the starters will probably go out for a couple series, try and work on their execution. But I wouldn't expect it to be long. Josh Allen has the foot injury. I think we're going to see Mitch Trubisky very early on in this game. So I think the subs are going to come in, but I take the Bills second stringers over the Jets second stringers because the Jets second stringers are their team now. Like, that's who they have, their second string team. So give me the Bills to embarrass the Jets. Mitch Trubisky going to get the last win in the history of Highmark Stadium and on to first round exit in the playoffs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, last game in the 4 o'clock window. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. They're taking on the Washington Commies, a.k.a. the Commanders, a.k.a. the football team, a.k.a.
Washington Redskins. Go yourself.
And they're catching 4. They're plus 175. The Eagles are minus 210. 39 is the total. And the Eagles are also resting their key starters this week. They are benching Jalen Hurts. They are benching Saquon, A.J. Brown, all the studs. They're still catching 4, or they're still laying 4. It's, I don't know what the Eagles really are playing for. Other than like what I mentioned with Chicago, like if they win and Chicago loses, they get the 2 seed? Or is it like, I know we literally talked about this. If Chicago wins, they secure the 2.
Yeah, I think they could get the 2 if they win and Chicago loses.
Okay. So with that said, do you really want to fight hard to host Green Bay, or do you just want to rest, stay put, and get the LA Rams or the 49ers at home? which I think for the Eagles, you would want the Niners because that's a real good rivalry, especially in the playoffs. That's like rivalry territory, so I could see that. Eagles tend to have the NFC West number 2, so I think that's a future thing to consider. But Tanner McKee against Marcus Mariota in what amounts to a preseason game. I don't think McKee's numbers really paint a solid picture. I just know last year in this spot, he looked real good against a shit Giants defense.
Yeah.
And he's going up against a shittier Commies defense this time. I'm going to lay the 4 with Philly, but I don't have a strong feeling one way or another. My thinking is that Dan Quinn is washed. And they're trusting McKee and the backups in this spot for a reason. And the books seem to think that the Eagles will still find a way to win this matchup. So, again, I'm going to trust the spot, but nothing too crazy or favored about it.
So it's actually Josh Johnson for Washington.
Oh, that's even worse.
I think Tanner McKee, like you said, I think he'll be serviceable. I don't think the Eagles starters are that great, having played them last week. I don't know if their backups are going to be any better. I leaned Washington from the start. I'll take Washington just because I don't think the Eagles really care. Washington got a little embarrassed last time because the Eagles went for 2 up like 27-10. So maybe there'll be a little bit of fight in Washington. I don't know. I just think with the points, the fact that the starters are out, maybe this could be a 4-point game. Washington gets a cover. Not feeling strong about it, but I'll go Washington. And thank you for taking over. You could tell my voice is starting to fail me. So
yeah, you're still coming off that illness. So
yeah.
I'll carry us to the end. Sunday night football, AFC North. Win and go to the playoffs. Lose and go home. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh is a 3.5-point home underdog with Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin. Ravens minus 3.5 at home, on the road, minus 205. 40.5 is the total. Lamar Jackson is starting for this match. And since we're getting Lamar Jackson, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 3.5. God, what a shit schedule again. Like, this should have been the Saturday evening game or Saturday day game. This should have been Seattle Niners, but we talked about that already. Yeah, I mean, look, this is just so depressing to think about. I can't imagine how the Ravens and Steelers fans are coping with this. This is Tomlin as a home underdog against the Ravens. These teams always play close. These teams always competitive, especially when playoffs have been on the line. You're getting the 3.5 hook. I'm taking it with the Steelers. Because I think, I don't know what the running joke is. Either the Ravens will make the playoffs and be one and done, or the Steelers will once again go 9-8. Except this time they'll be bounced out of the wild card. And I think for this game, this is a head coach dead man walking. Whoever loses this, I think, is getting fired. Because I could see they've already paid Lamar, and Lamar Jackson is essentially the future of Baltimore. Harbaugh is the odd man out, I think, in this scenario. I could see them letting him go, especially with all the locker room drama. They're now talking about maybe letting Lamar go. There's whispers of that going on right now. I don't know if that's true. Pittsburgh, I think we're just overreacting a little bit to that Cleveland lost. We didn't really handicap it, but the one thing you have to remember is that Pittsburgh always struggles in Cleveland. When they're home against the Browns, they tend to destroy them, but when they're on the road, they tend to lose in that spot. I think a lot of people just fell into that trap last week. Now they're back home, they're catching points. And it's a primetime spot where, quite frankly, again, I normally would love to bet primetime Lamar, but this year he's 3-6. And yeah, he's 3-6 in primetime this year. And actually, I don't even think that's no, it's not true. Sorry, I think it's like the Steelers are 3-6 in their last Sunday night. The Ravens have gone with Lamar. They're 1-4 in primetime this year. That game last week in Green Bay, that was Tyler Huntley.
Which is surprising because primetime Lamar, I mean, that Sunday night Lamar was easy money, but not this year.
No. So really, it's just Ravens haven't done well in primetime all year with Lamar. The only game they won was against Miami, which I think was a Thursday night game. So not much else to really add. We could dive into the trends of Tomlin as a dog, Ravens as a road favorite, but I'm going to trust my gut and take the 3.5.
I think the Ravens, and I'll keep it brief. The Ravens continue to be the most overrated team in football. How are they 3.5-point favorites in this game? What have they done all year to be 3.5-point favorites in any road game? This is not the same Ravens team as the last 2 years. It's the same thing with Buffalo. I mean, I hate to say it, but people talk about the Bills and the Ravens like they're talking about the 2023, 2024 teams. These are two mediocre teams, and Baltimore has been even more mediocre than the Bills. Like, they should not be favored in this game. It's a wrong team favored game.
Ooh,
I think the Steelers are going to win and go to the playoffs. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think Steelers find a way I think it's Aaron Rodgers in a clutch moment. He'll find a way to get it done.
They're going to lose next week to like Houston or whoever, but I think they'll win. I think they'll win this game. I mean, like I said, I haven't. Baltimore beat the Bills of the NFC, the Green Bay Packers. They suck. The Ravens are they're not the same team as last year. They're just not.
No, I think Ravens. And I have to look at it real quick. I thought I saw it was something about Lamar and the Ravens as road favorites in prime. Like, it's something about them being as road favorites against divisional teams. AFC North. And of course. Let's see. That's what it was. They've lost 4 of their last 5 in Pittsburgh. It had nothing to do with them being favorites, but even looking back at the couple I'm looking at with them as favorites, 3-3, nothing crazy. In their last
and
6.
let the Ravens go down 10-0, and the fraud is going to be grabbing at his hamstring again.
You think Lamar will bitch out?
Talk about a fake MVP. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Josh has played well this year, but at least he's a real MVP. At least he's out there every game. His foot's hurt. He takes beatings every week. Lamar Jackson's such a baby. Like, his season starts to go south and he hurts his hammy. Like, every year, it's the same thing. If his season goes south, he finds an injury. He's the biggest fraud in football. Like, he is a bum. He's another guy never going to win anything. Fucking loser.
I was going to say, you were talking about Josh being the Dan Marino. I think it could be Lamar Jackson.
No.
He'll have all the stats.
Lamar's not good enough. Lamar's not good enough. He's not good. The guy's not good. Look at his stats year to year. He's not a good quarterback because he can't be on the field. This guy is not good.
Here
we go.
Well,
he's thrown for 4,000 yards once in a season. Once. Josh did that 4 years in a row. Yeah. Other than that, he's a running back. And now because his hammy hurts.
Well, I guess that's the big, I guess it lays into my handicap a little bit with the game. The Ravens picked up Derrick Henry. How many games have we seen? They'll utilize him in one half and then totally forget about him in the second.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they do that.
Even in the Green Bay game, they did that. Even in the Green Bay game, second half, you saw Keaton Mitchell more than you saw Derrick Henry. Henry had 4 fucking touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with Harbaugh and trying to spread the wealth, but like it has not worked for him in the past, and he just needs to like literally spread the wealth when it stops working. Like if Derrick Henry's running for 5 touchdowns, let him run for 3 more. What's it going to kill you to win a game like that? Who cares if Lamar doesn't get his stats? He's not in the game half the time anyways. Well,
not wrong
that's
there.
about it. Yeah. We got through all the games. 16. We'll do a quick recap. We'll see what we're heads up on. We're both on Carolina taking on the Bucks. We're both on San Fran against Seattle. We're both on Cincy against Cleveland. I'm on Dallas. I think you're on the Giants.
Okay, that's one.
I have Green Bay plus 10. We'll see what it is in the contest. I may have to change it. You're taking Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Indy. You're taking Houston. I'm on Atlanta minus 3.5. That's my under of the week. Atlanta, New Orleans under of the week. Indy's my fade of the week. Dog of the week, San Fran. Tampa is my over. I'll keep it moving. Jacksonville, Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee with the points. You're going Jags. I think that's 5 right there in a row. Arizona, Rams. We're both going LA Rams. Rams are my best bet.
Mm-hmm.
You and I think we're both on Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm on the Raiders. You're on the Raiders. We're both on the Chargers with the points. You're with Miami. I'm on New England. So there's 6. And then Bills, Eagles, Steelers we're agreeing on. So we have our 6. I may adjust the Lions just to keep it interesting. I'll have to adjust it to the Lions because if the contest number is not high enough, which it isn't, it's only 5.5. So.
Oh, why don't we? Oh, geez, I should have put myself off camera. Hold on, let me put myself off camera. I mean, basically, in order for me to.
Actually, you know what? I got to do. We have to do 2 because 6 only ties it. Oh, it's 5. Oh, wait, it's 5. So it is 6. And I lost Manzin.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah. So
Minnesota, it's only 6 points.
Yeah, we have to have 6 different. So Indy, Tennessee, Detroit, New England, the Rams. Or no, we both took the Rams. Oh, wait, I have Dallas. You have the Giants. Four, 5.
I think we had 5 different. So
okay,
I'm going. Oh shit. So I'm going Houston. Shit.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Houston, Miami, Jacksonville,
okay,
Giants,
okay. I'll take Detroit. You can have Chicago.
Washington. 5. That's 6.
Okay.
So there we go.
All right, for the Caser.
For the Caser. There we go. 6 different. All you need is one of yours to win. So keep it interesting. All right, buddy. That's all I got. Let me go rest my voice.
All right, buddy. I will catch you later. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, go in and make that motherfucking money. Have a good night.